Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of Games and Names. Our sport for this episode is the sport of motorcycle racing, and our featured star guest is Basil Hussein, and he's a member of Egypt's national team for motorcycle racing. So let's get to know more about motorcycle racing in Egypt and about our featured star guest in the upcoming minutes of Games and Names. Motorcycle racing, also called motor racing and motorbike racing, is the motorcycle sport of racing motorcycles. Major varieties include motorcycle road racing and off-road racing, both either on circuits or open courses, and track racing. Other categories include hill climbs, drag racing, and land speed record trials. We have the FIM, which is the international body governing the sport, and it classifies motorcycle racing in the following four main categories. Each category has several sub-categories. We have the road racing, the traditional road racing, the motorcycle Grand Prix, Moto 3, Moto 2, and Moto GP. We also have the super bike racing and the super sport racing, along with endurance racing, sidecar racing. There is also motocross, which has divisions of supercross and supermoto, and there is the enduro and cross country, which has enduro, hard scramble, and then there is the cross country rally. Cross country rally events are much bigger than enduros. The track racing is a form of motorcycle racing where teams or individuals race opponents around an oval track. There are different variants, with each variant racing on a different surface type. You have the indoor short track and TT racing. There's also the speedway and the grass track, along with the ice speedway, the board track, and the auto race. Other categories include drag racing sprints, which consists of a race venue where two participants line up at a drag strip with a signal starting line. Upon the starting signal, the riders accelerate down a straight quarter-mile long paved track where their elapsed time and terminal speed are recorded. And naturally, the rider to reach the finish line first is the winner. We have the UK sprinting, the hill climbing, the land speed racing, the vintage racing, and also the super hooligan racing. The traditional road racing historically means a course on closed public roads. This was once commonplace, but currently only a few such circuits have survived. They are mostly in Europe. And when it comes to the motorcycle Grand Prix, of course, motorcycle Grand Prix refers to the premier category of motorcycle road racing and is divided into the Moto 3, introduced in 2012. Motorcycles in this classes are 250cc with single-cylinder four-stroke engines. Previously featured 125cc two-stroke motorcycles. In the Moto 2, introduced by Dorna Sports, the commercial rights holder of the competition, we have a 600cc four-stroke class. And in the Moto GP, which is the current term for the highest class of GP racing, the one contested with prototype machines with varying displacement and engine type over the years, originally contested by large displacement four-stroke machines in the early years. It eventually switched to 500cc two strokes. In 2002, 900cc four-stroke bikes were allowed to compete alongside 500cc two strokes, and then completely replaced them in 2003. Or 2007 saw a reduction to 800cc four-stroke engines due to high speeds, and in 2009 we finalized a 1000cc four strokes, and that began officially in 2012, and this is where we stand now.
أنا باسل حسين لاعب الدراجات المصري الدراجات النارية والسباقات الصحراوية.
My name is Basil Hussein. I'm a motorcycle racing rider and I specialize in desert racing. I am a member of Egypt's national team for desert motorcycle racing. I first rode bikes at a very young age when I was only 5. And then I continued in the sport with a lot of love and passion. I, of course, changed motorcycle year in and year out so as to conform with my abilities at the time. Now we train in Saara under the supervision of the Egyptian Association for motorcycle racing. But I want to tell you, of course, there are many types of motorcycle racing, but I specialize in desert motorcycle racing, as I told you. Unfortunately, we only have something like 20 or 25 riders all across Egypt who specialize in motorcycle desert racing, and this makes it difficult for us to compete internationally because many countries around the world and even surrounding countries have uh, many more riders than we do. Yet, I was able to grab second place in last year's Al Fayoum International Open, and my other important appearances were in El Gona in 2018 and also in 2021. 2021 was the year when we started forming a national team for motorcycle desert racing, and we camped in the United Arab Emirates in Dubai, to be more specific. And they are pioneers in the sport there, and we trained under the supervision of Captain Al Belushi, a famous rider there, and that really helped elevate our level and improve our skills. My trainer is Captain Samir Munir. He's the champion of the Rally of the Pharaohs in 2010. He is a master in the sport. He gained a lot of experience from Germany in the sport. I'm in constant direct contact with him. Of course, to get to the national team, we have qualifiers. There are 3 races, and it's all about the time you record. You take the first 3 positions in each of the 3 races, and then according to those results, uh, you pick the national team riders. As far as the physical abilities of a motorcycle rider goes, I believe that just like in any other sport, you have to be fit. You have to be an athlete. You shouldn't be overweight. You cannot smoke, for instance. You have to eat healthy food. I mean, there is nothing specific, but you basically have to be an athlete with a healthy lifestyle. In desert motorcycle racing, we have three categories of bikes. We have the touring bikes, which are heavy bikes, and they are very wide. And then we have the enduro, which is with something in the middle between of the three categories, and it's not very fast and not very powerful, but fast enough and powerful enough to ride on the street and in the desert. And then we have the cross country. And this is my favorite bike, and this is the one I rode with in 2021 and in 2022, the cross country bike. Before that, I had the XR600, and I rode it in Algona in 2018. When it comes to bikes, what really matters is the engine and the power of the engine, and not whether it's an old or a new bike. We had a very important training camp in Dubai in 2021, participated in MX Dubai. I wish to see motorcycle racing practiced in public clubs and not just in private clubs, like is the case now. Of course, all is done under the supervision of the National Association for Motorbike Racing. But again, we only have private clubs at the moment who practice this sport. We want public clubs to do so as well, and this will help in spreading the game naturally. And I want to tell you that you can start this game at a very young age. I mean, a 12 or 13-year-old kid could easily ride a 50cc bike and really learn from a young age. And the upcoming tournament that we will have here in Egypt will be at the end of 2023. We are practicing right now every weekend in Sa'ara to get ready for that and other events. Of course, in every training session, we bring with us all of the safety measures and safety gears and the protective equipment, the most important of which is, of course, the safety helmet. There's also the chest, the knees, the pads, the gloves, the glasses, the camelback for the water, and the earpiece. And this is very important because, we get really deep in the desert. We can get 30 kilometers inside the desert, so we have to stay in connection with each other, and we all have to have our mics and earpieces ready and set all the time. For regular motorcycle racing in Egypt and not desert motorcycle racing, we have an on-road association. There's a master in Sokhna every Friday and sometimes every weekend or every other weekend. And I hope to see this happening in desert motorcycle racing as well. The most important Arab countries in the sport of desert motorcycle racing are the UAE, and of course Dubai is a pioneer here in the region. Morocco is also strong in desert motorcycle racing. Internationally, of course, there is the US. And I want to tell you that we do have American, Moroccan, and Emirati players coming here to Egypt because I believe we have the best desert, the most beautiful desert in the world, and the most suitable for desert motorcycle racing. A friend of mine is American Isaac Harper. I'm in constant contact with him, and we practice together, and he sends me the motorbikes I need. For those who are starting to practice the sport, I do encourage youngsters to take on the sport, but I want to caution them that our sport is one of calculated risk, and you should always, take the safety measures seriously and wear the full protective equipment and the safety gears. It's very important. Alongside motorcycle racing, desert motorcycle racing, I have played and still playing mixed martial arts. I own a black belt in Aikido, another black belt in Ninjutsu. I'm currently a trainer of the sport of Ninjutsu, or the art of Ninjutsu, if I can say so, because you can play with a weapon or without a weapon. I've trained at the police academy for 4 years, and I gave lectures to third-year students in the subject called self-defense. And at the moment, I train in private centers, also self-defense techniques. That is in Heliopolis. And I have won many championships in Aikido, Ninjutsu, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but desert motorbike racing is my absolute favorite sport and hobby. My mission is to spread the sports I'm practicing, be it motorbike racing, desert motorcycling, or the Aikido, Ninjutsu, and Jiu-Jitsu that I currently train. I want to see as many youth as possible, practicing my sports or any other sport for that matter. I want youth really to take sports as a way of life, and I consider this a mission of mine.